Ladies and gentlemen, as you take your seats, we will be joined by this year's graduates of the Columbian College of Arts and Sciences.
we do it first?
Ladies and gentlemen, graduates, please rise and welcome the faculty of the Columbian College of Arts and Sciences.
3. Praise the Lord with them. Ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, the Dean of the Columbian College of Arts and Sciences and his distinguished guests are joined this year by this year's Luther Rice and Undergraduate Research Fellows.
Please be seated. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Michael King, Marshal of the Columbian College of Arts and Sciences. On behalf of the Dean and the faculty of the Columbian College, I am delighted to welcome you to this celebration for our baccalaureate candidates in the 194th year of the George Washington University. We congratulate all of our graduates and join with you, their families and friends, in celebration this weekend as we share sincere pride in our graduates' achievement. In addition to greeting each of our graduates and celebrating their accomplishments this afternoon, we will also honor faculty excellence in student mentoring and teaching. Each year, a representative group of graduates of the college, on behalf of all of the graduates, are asked to nominate a member of the faculty to speak on this occasion. This year's faculty speaker is Alexander Dent, Associate Professor of Anthropology and International Affairs. Professor Dent.
Parents and graduates, debtors and debtees. There's a fine line between a rut and a groove. Though it might be a heresy to say so, I've never been a fan of comic strips, so I remember not one word of my own convocation speech, delivered by Gary B. Trudeau, justly celebrated as the author of the Doonesbury series. I actually had to look it up on the internet to remember who spoke to me just a little over 20 years ago. However, I do remember getting some good advice right before I graduated. The night after convocation, at about 3 o'clock in the morning, my unruly friend Noah burst into my packed-up dorm room, woke me up from a deep sleep, and delivered the following words. "Alex, there's a fine line between a rut and a groove." And then he turned around and left. I haven't seen him since, although he actually is pursuing a successful career in rocket science. At any rate, Noah's words have stuck with me, and I want to share them with you today. And if you remember nothing else that I say today, which, as I've noted, is a distinct possibility, please remember these words. There is a fine line between a rut and a groove. Attempts to trace the origin of this expression lead in the typical profusion of directions we've come to associate with any search for origins on the internet. The most likely candidate for the expression's baptismal moment seems to be a Ram Jam song of 1977. The song has a title which is a different expression, the kind of expression I might well be sharing with you today. The expression and the title of that song, "Keep Your Hands on the Wheel." And by all means, do keep your hands on the wheel, especially when you're texting. However, my wish for all of you is that you might keep your hands on the wheel in a groovy fashion. This way of using the word groove seems to have originated with the grooves from a vinyl record, those individual lines on a circular surface that all look a little bit like the other lines, but when you play them, they sound just a little bit different. That's groovy. I'm really in a groove. James Brown, Simon and Garfunkel, John Coltrane, Funkadelic, The Clash, Kanye West, Jimi Hendrix. James Brown. The groove is repetition with slight variation. Computer music with no human element at all cannot groove. The variations can be slight, but they have to be there in order for a groove to be present. A groove is also about co-presence, participation, being in it with other people. You can groove even when you're dancing to music all by yourself with no one watching. In sports, we speak of flow. Punks are in the pocket. Others are on the beat, in sync, out of sight, off the hook. This is repetition that feels good. It takes you higher, but it simultaneously roots you in yourself. But as we all know, too much repetition means stuck, and that's a rut. The wheelbarrow makes a track in the mud after rain, and then that track solidifies, becoming semi-permanent. Now, when you want to go that way again, you get stuck in the same pathway. You're following that same line. The tire hits against the edges of the rut, but it won't bounce out. And even if you could bounce out, there's no other way to go. There's no flying here, no warm, happy feelings, no musical soundtrack. This is repetition to no purpose. Often this is a distinctly solitary endeavor. I'm in a rut. She is in such a rut. So the operative question is, how do you get out of that rut and find yourselves a new groove? My thought is simple. Those of us who have taken some basic human anatomy will recall that in the center of each human chest is a large dial set to 0 at the 12 o'clock position in the middle. Turn the dial to the left, and you're in habitual territory. We can't take the road less traveled every time. Sorry, Robert Frost, that's actually bad advice. How are you ever going to get good at anything? So here you are, doing what you know how to do, and hopefully there's at least some groove to it. But if you beat it to death, then it becomes a rut, and down you come. At those moments, take your personal chest dial, turn it back past 0 and into the right side. This is new territory, the unaccustomed, that which you do not know. Brush your teeth with your left hand instead of your right. Begin to study Arabic or Mandarin or Guarani. Memorize a passage from Shakespeare's The Tempest. Kick the soccer ball with the other foot. And maybe most of all, cultivate looking at familiar things with complete strangers, even when that complete stranger happens to be yourself. I'm talking here about sitting and staring at that dress with a person who insists that that dress is black and blue and not white and gold. Why should you do this? Because there is a fine line between a rut and a groove.
Robert W. Kenney, who served as Dean of the Columbian College, was particularly supportive as a department chair and as Dean of quality teaching, especially in introductory courses. When Dean Kenney retired, his colleagues honored him by endowing a prize to be awarded each year to a member of the Faculty of Arts and Sciences nominated by his students who has demonstrated an imaginative or innovative approach to teaching in an introductory or basic course in a discipline. This year's winner of the Robert W. Kenney Prize is Professor Catherine Wasden, Assistant Professor of Classics. Professor Wasden is honored for her sophisticated, thought-provoking, multicultural course, Mythology of the Classical World, a course that uses modern scholarship to interpret and explicate mythology while connecting to modern expression in drama, film, poetry, art, and the cultural life of Washington, D.C. Unfortunately, Professor Wasden had a prior commitment at a research center in Switzerland this weekend and could not be with us to receive her award, but it will be awarded when she returns to Washington. And now, Dean Daniel Ullman will present the newly inaugurated Columbian Prize for Teaching and Mentoring Advanced Undergraduate Students. Dean Ullman.
It is my pleasure and honor to introduce the recipient of this year's Columbian Prize for Teaching and Mentoring of Advanced Undergraduate Students. This award is given to a faculty member who has given exceptional care and attention to students through advanced coursework, through undergraduate research supervision, through direction of senior capstone projects, or through other similar mentoring activities. This year's Columbian Prize winner is Dr. Tara Sinclair, an associate professor in the Department of Economics. Dr. Sinclair earned her bachelor's degree in foreign languages from Wheaton College in Illinois, and her master's and doctoral degrees in economics from Washington University in St. Louis. Her area of expertise is macroeconomics and econometrics. She co-directs GW's research program on forecasting, and she is chief economist at Indeed.com, the world's #1 job site. She publishes frequently in professional journals with a wide spectrum of collaborators. But what we are celebrating today is Professor Sinclair's devotion to the engagement and mentoring of undergraduates. Within the past 3 years, 5 students she has guided in research have received a #1 or #2 prize at the poster sessions at GW's research days. She has 2 professional publications jointly with undergraduates and 3 more in progress, in preparation. The student evaluation scores of her teaching are absolutely stratospheric. The portfolio of student letters supporting her nomination for this prize was truly overwhelming. Within those letters, one finds the following sorts of phrases: enthusiasm for teaching, commitment to student success, endless support and guidance, rigorous encouragement, goes out of her way to help students, unparalleled passion for teaching and mentoring students, and this one perhaps the ultimate compliment, I quote, "In her class, I learned to think differently." Oh, and here's one more from a recent graduate, and I promise I'm not making this one up. "I have made alumni donations to this university because of my positive experience with Tara Sinclair." That may be the ultimate compliment. Wow. Please join me in recognizing Dr. Sinclair for her exceptional service to undergraduate students in Columbian College.
Each spring, faculty nominate an exceptional undergraduate who is evident outstanding scholarship as a distinguished scholar in the college. John Kopriva is one of our distinguished scholars this year. A chemistry major with a minor in exercise science, John is an accomplished scholar with a 3.93 GPA. Most undergraduates know John best as one of the starters on the GW basketball team since his freshman year and team captain for 3 of those years. During his tenure on the team, John played a school record of 128 games. This combination of exceptional scholarship and outstanding athleticism has earned John a place on the Atlantic 10 Commissioners' Honor Roll and the honor of National Academic All-American, one of only 7 other GW players to ever receive that honor. In the community, John has been a leader on a team that brought Lemonade Day to Washington, a unique inner-city youth mentoring project that fosters entrepreneurial skills. For this and other service activities, including tutoring general chemistry and participating in Hoops for Troops, John has been given a National Association of Basketball Coaches Good Works Team Award. Next year, as he submits his applications to medical school, John will be teaching chemistry and coaching at Marquette University High School, his alma mater in Milwaukee, as part of their Alumni Service Corps program. John?
Thank you. Well, good afternoon. It is an absolute honor to speak in front of you today in an arena that has been such a big part of my GW experience. I'm so thankful to my family and the large network of people here at GW who have supported me and helped shape these college years. Almost 4 years ago, I boarded a plane in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, departing for Washington, D.C. Like many of us here, I was headed for Colonial inauguration. On the other end of the flight, I knew a coach would pick me up at the airport, but that was about it. I pretty much knew no one else. So what did I do? Well, I did what every other wide-eyed Midwesterner would do. I just said hi to everyone. I'm telling you, I come from a place where that's the norm. I mean, look no further than my father, who seems to even make friends in the everly silent and awkward elevator. To my pleasant surprise, though, one of my first friends at GW came up right behind me and just said, "Hi, I'm Rose." I said, "Hi, Rose. I'm John." And she and I laugh about this now, but how beautiful is that? We were all there. We had no choice but to meet people and let down our guards. For a people person like myself, I loved that awkward but spirited time of CI in the first few weeks of college. Flash forward several years, and we are seniors in college. I'm living in South Hall, and I get to know one of the gentlemen who works in the building, Frank. Every time I see Frank, he greets me with the best hello. "Hey, Big John, how's the season going?" Or, "Heard you had a great game the other night. Isn't it just a wonderful day out?" I'm telling you, it could have been a midweek, slow-moving, early morning, and Frank still had a spirited and personal hello for me. I have to tell you, my day got better after every greeting from Frank. I started to wonder, why do his heartfelt hellos feel like such a change of pace to my day? Why are they unusually uplifting? I began to realize that over the years I had stopped saying hello. I had fallen trapped to this unspoken custom that we at GW seem to have of not saying hello to acquaintances. Sure, if we see our best friend walking down the street, we'll greet them, say hi. But what about that person from class? What about the person you met out a couple of nights ago? What about the person you've seen on Instagram? That's the awkward one. But you know them, and they know you. But no words are exchanged in passing. Heck, sometimes not even a smile passes between you two. For some reason, it has become more socially acceptable to just walk past than say hello. This is when the chemist in me came out. I set up an experiment. You know, as chemists, we recognize a problem, make a hypothesis, run a test, and analyze the results. I saw the power of hello in my exchanges with Frank. I also saw the lack of these simple exchanges on GW's campus. For these last 2 months or so, I decided to break the sound barrier, let down my guards, and like that wide-eyed Midwesterner showing up to CI, uninhibitedly saying hello to anyone and everyone I've had even the slightest previous encounter with. And let me tell you, the results have been great. Have I found myself, my hand waving up in the air for everyone to see except the person I was waving to? Sure. I looked like an idiot. What has happened way more often than that, though, are wonderfully simple exchanges of the human spirit. You should see the surprise on some people's face, yet the response is almost always appreciative and warm. Many times, my first hello has then given the other person confidence to say hello the next time. And every time we pass, it's a smile and hello all the time. One of my favorite experiences came when a hello initiated a beautiful conversation with someone of whom I totally had the wrong negative first impression. Now, these simple exchanges are great and energizing for me, but there is a deeper meaning. The world is one big group project, whether we like it or not. Communication is crucial. We can all look to our undergraduate experiences to already see this. For me, playing for GW basketball, a team sport, communication was one of the biggest keys to our success. In chemistry and many of the sciences, principal investigators no longer work alone. Rather, bigger and bigger grants are given when more and more investigators from different fields come together to address larger scale issues. Isn't this wonderful, though? If we want to tackle some of the biggest issues facing us, we are going to have to work together. Looking even closer to home, our GW community and colleges across the country have been scarred by mental illness. The scientist in me and in all of us here knows that this is not just a sadness or a discomfort, but rather a chemical imbalance that is all too real, a suffering that can burden an individual. Now, universities like GW must continue to address this issue and provide more resources, but we know that the responsibility is on all of us to look out for those that may be struggling, to start that dialogue. A simple hello and exchange of the human spirit may help lift an individual you did not even know was struggling. Now, I'm not saying that hello will solve all these issues, but ridding ourselves of the social stigma associated with it is a start. Let's look up from our phones. Let's start the conversation. Let's remove our headphones and break down the sound barrier that seems to stand between too many of us. It's a social world we live in. Never discredit the power of the human spirit, especially when we share that spirit with those around us. As we go forward today and tomorrow, graduation may seem like a time for goodbye. Class of 2015, I challenge you to say hello. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Scott Jackson Dantley, and I'm a proud graduate of the Columbian College of Arts and Sciences. I am also a member of the GW Alumni Association Board of Directors. On behalf of the GW Alumni Association, I offer sincere congratulations to each of you on your achievements. The GW Alumni Association represents over 270,000 alumni across the globe. The GWAA works to strengthen the relationship between alumni and the university. GW alumni are making history, changing the world every day through their service to the community, contributions to their profession, and their dedication to GW as loyal alumni. In less than 24 hours, each of you will be part of this lifelong and worldwide community. The GW Alumni Association has a rich tradition of recognizing a graduating student from each school who has shown a commitment to the university, outstanding leadership in campus and community activities, and curricular and extracurricular accomplishments. This year's recipient of the GW Alumni Association Prize from the Columbian College of Arts and Sciences is Elizabeth Seto-DeCao. Elizabeth, please join me at the podium. An undergraduate with a 3.84 GPA, Elizabeth is graduating this weekend with a Bachelor's of Arts in Classical Studies and Women's Studies. She has been the recipient of the Siegelman Undergraduate Research Enhancement Award, which helped provide support for her student research, which she has presented multiple times, both at on-campus and off-campus conferences such as in New Orleans, South Dakota, and Chapel Hill. During her time here at GW, Elizabeth has been a leader and a mentor and has demonstrated a passion for serving the GW community. Since fall 2012, Elizabeth has served as a residence advisor in various residence halls across the campus. In her role, Elizabeth provided support for students by facilitating meaningful and engaging programs and by helping her residents make connections to campus resources and partners. She has also been engaged in various leadership roles across the campus. In addition to working at the Gelman Library, Elizabeth served as a co-president of the Feminist Student Union and the president of the GW Quiz team. She was also a trip leader for GW's Alternative Break and served as a student admissions representative. On behalf of GW's Alumni Association and your fellow classmates, I congratulate you on your accomplishments and look forward to your future involvement with the GW Alumni Association.
A number of our graduates have been selected to receive special awards, prizes, or honors. Let me call your attention to the names of those awardees who are listed on the inside of your program. Additionally, this year's Phi Beta Kappa inductees were honored at ceremonies earlier this week. At this time, we would like to recognize the remarkable accomplishments and talents of our graduates by asking first all of the Luther Rice and undergraduate research fellows to please stand and remain standing. Luther Rice research fellows, congratulations. Would all of the departmental awardees who are listed on the inside of the program please stand and join them? Departmental awardees. Would all of the Phi Beta Kappa graduates please stand? Phi Beta Kappa. And now may I ask anyone who appeared on the Dean's List this year to stand as well? Dean's List. This year. Any year. How about those of you who finished a capstone paper, an exhibition, a project, in fact, any exam or paper or special project, a juried work, an exhibition? Please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. Let us salute all of these honored graduates. Thank you. Please be seated now. It is now our pleasure to introduce one by one your sons and daughters, spouses, parents, and special friends whose noble achievement we celebrate with these festivities. In order that none of the names of the honorees will get lost, we ask that you withhold your applause until all of the graduates have been presented, at which time we will join together in saluting all. As Dean Vincent takes his place in the front of the podium, let me ask the faculty marshals to please step forward and introduce the graduates to our guests. Again, please hold your congratulations until all have been presented.
taking the cards. Can you be on this side? Professor Jennifer James of Africana Studies. Amana Bawa. What are they doing? Jane Graver. Professor Suleiman Osman, American Studies. Haley Murphy. Haley Bachman. Shannon Brown. Devin Marie Keenan. Sarah Coulter. Adi Debibi. Diana Clokey. Jacqueline Dreyer. Eric Breeze. Daniel Landsman. Leslie Rathkoff. Robert Rinaldi. Taylor Goldman. Eva Garrett Doyle. Catherine Molnar Morosco. David Shepard. Professor Brenda Bradley, Anthropology. Amy L'Esperance. Iris Berkovitz. Zoe Silverman. Asia Woods. Helen Mackenzie Gaynor. Skylar Racklin. Sarah Kochlar. Catherine Pineda. Maddie Clements. Riley Lundres. Kyle Condry. Sarah Tran. Isabella Pellegrero. Sarah Zakur. Paula Moreno. Jessica Stearman. Matthew Ricci. Brendan McClellan. Rocky Barai. Marnie Taylor. Shauba Jagunatham. Milan Bederu. Jamie Berngardner. Rose Haber. Nicole Butler. Cole Messersmith. Laura Schwartz. Catherine Cote. Catherine Packer. Lindsay Serwatka. Jake Moskowitz. Jacqueline Olson. David Frankel. Alex Miller. Aaron Poliak. Professor Eric Klein, Archaeology. Catherine Leonard. Juliana Colleen Hull. Ariel Polikoff, Rachel Perlman, Catherine Williamson, Gregory Hughes, Isabel Johnson, Professor Randall Packer, Biological Sciences, Sarah Richter, Sarah Carendish, Gabrielle Paul, Kelvin Lim, Mariam Bumezrag, Jennifer Wilson, Fiza Sheikh, Priya Jain, Nikith Shaw, Barguva Shaikat, Birnda Mysore, Darshan Vora, Rahul Nadendla, Paulina Kriska, Jessica Marshall, Christina Kisiova, Nikela Nal, Kevin Jackson, Rebecca Prather, Douglas Harnett Robinson, Dominique Simone Jones, Shayna Paris, Joanna Fraser, Rebecca Malizia, Alexandra Brothers, Alexis Chen, Felice Wei Shea, Rabia Idris, Kyle Kurland, Alexander Marchak, Yosef Abdallah Aldras, Samuel Schaefer Morrison, Megan Simmons, Alexander Reed, Chine Kalita, Josh Urugu, Kevin Kamstra, Sarah Elizabeth Gall, Brigitte Aziz, Evan Feldman, Nikki Amadi, Jacqueline Rose, Ricky Zhu, Harsh Patel, Garrett Louie, Tariq Hamdan, Otabek Ishmukhamedov. Was that close? Elias Gafour. Philip Horowitz. Sarah Fierman. Evan Rabinowitz. Abigail Carter. Langston McKee. Brooke Talbot. Sarah Hilton. David Paulo Bueno Chua. Nicholas Nguyen. I know. I'm waiting for him. Trin Nguyen. Michelle Manikam. Simrum Kausi. Lynn Amar. I know. Farishta Bora. Joe Lipworth. Adam Robb. Robert Zucker. Gabriel Michael Capella. John Anthony Leach. Brian Shear. Samantha Hatton. Sophia Shea. Heather Wright. Lucas Dunn. Melanie Tabroff. Brandon Hoffman. Professor Michael Wagner, Chemistry. Albert Zing. Isaac Benavides. Kabir Gummer. Sydney Morris. Michaela Perch. Undil Khan. Michael Armesto. Christina Chow. Jeffrey Maddox. Richard Thurston. John Kopriva, hello. Tara Tufana. Kara Ang. Professor Mohsen Assisi, Arabic Studies. Masho Dean. Megan Feely. Professor Elizabeth Fisher, Classical Studies. Samantha Morin. Emily Marcus. Brooke Mackey. Katrina Pereira. Oh, I'm sorry, Professor Katrina Pereira, Communications. Alexa Dectus. Josephine Hill. Rebecca Scherer. Andrew Lieberman. McKinley Trethler. Katie Grossbard. Maya Brownstein. Lucy Emery. Anieza Osakwi. Jessica Bolger. Karen Josoloff. Jeffrey Winters. Court Lippy. Nicole Marie Bogart Morales. Honor Williams. Emma Razor. Morgan Mathiasen. Alyssa Ortega. Pengui Lee. Lara Chang. Catherine Shumakoff. Sarah Graham Helwig. Angie Kang. Haley Simons. Hallie Simons. Francesca Di Galomo. Rosalind Matthews. Professor David Costanza, Organizational Sciences. Christina Broccoli. Christopher Ballesteros. Samantha Issa. Jordan Globinger. Gregory Fegelis. Lauren Blank. Maggie Assail. Sydney Shapiro. Gabriella Grimshaw. Tialai Long. Maxwell Deem. Kalila Simon. William Hinman II. Elizabeth Kelly. Jill Frey. Jordan Day. No? Jordan Davey. Alexi Several. Melissa Friedstein. Kristen Alexandria Grant. Emma Catherine Turnbull. Rachel Beth Newman. Lauren Winters. Pierre Liane Durand. Mary Elizabeth Gelzer. Bria Bourgeois. Bryson Rusin Thomas. Jennifer Youssef. Stephen Sirota. Nathan Felton. Brian Moika. Madison Davis. Sarah Hayashi. Professor Erin Speck, Corcoran School of Art and Design. Bethany Jennings in Graphic Design. Nora Mosley, Graphic Design. David Hodgson, Graphic Design. Lauren Wright, Art Studies. Shane Sullivan, Graphic Design. Carla Belido, Graphic Design. Fiona Francis Green, Graphic Design. Neha Pathare, Interior Design. Suho Cho, Fine Art. Sohee Lim, Fine Art Photography. DeLawrence Perkins, Fine Art. Kessie Marcus, Fine Art Photography. Taylor Shelton, Art Studies. Dong Sa, Design, Fine Art, and Fine Arts.
We're beginning the second half of the meeting.
Okay.
Okay. Representing the Department of English, Professor Robert McCruer. Alyssa Kopervas. Jasmine Baker. Julia Denzer-Gurek. Juliana Eckel. Joy Finneran. Jessica Castillo. Lauren Cohn. Emily Hirsch. Good. Brendan Patrick Connell. Natalie Lila. Hadley Fielding. Jesse Stolick. Elizabeth Lanfranchi. Mickey Hanley. Juliana Tamayo. Catherine Cushion. Margaret Carleen. Jordan Coggins. Matthew Willey. Sonia Colthin. Jada Smith. Sarah Miles Reed. Jordan Mitzman. Kate Friedman. Joseph Jean-Marie. Bailey Lucero Carter. Melissa Leah Krause. Marissa Freites. Sarah Costello. Jonathan Kindy. And representing the Creative Writing Program, Professor Lisa Page. Jess Yacovel. Mary Setti. Hannah Spector. Marshall McMurray. Representing Fine Arts and Art History, Professor Lillian Robinson. John, George, Jordan Hayward. Peter Hatsopoulos. Jackie Putnam. Genevieve Lipinski de Orlov. Caitlin Wright. Rebecca Troutman. Caroline Triba. Mildred Stallings. Julia Grace Pasqualini. Anne-Marie Jennifer McVeigh. Jacqueline Stevens. Isabella Rigido Lopez. Layla Michelle Karaman. Andrea Giles Marshall. Chelsea Thorpe. Nicole Barth. Casey Davignon. Nicholas Connor Russell, Marie Fazio, Madeline Dennis Yates, Ramina Mamadouva, Naomi Glickman, Rosanna Girlandino, Jasmine Ashley Stovall, Rupa Bashyam, Trummel Horn, representing Japanese languages and literatures, Professor Leo Hanami, Ian Rodenhouse, Scotty Kim, representing environmental studies, Professor David Rain, Margaret Blackburn, Allison Dygert, Miles Milliken, Eric Bethke, Claire Loxham, Irene Kim, Samantha Hoylett, Megan Alston, Marie Claire Dart, Victoria Chiriboga, Maximilian Chase Grossman, Trent Cummings, Holden Bussey, Michael Borey, Brianne Rajkumar, Marietta Gelfort, Socorro Lopez, representing geography, Professor Elizabeth Chayko, Evan Feinstein, Raynell Cooper, Leah Capek, John Weiss, Lucy Lee, Michelle Stolmacher, Emma Arnold, Aaron Euster, Kelly Danielle Barnes, Christian Snellgrove, Benjamin Topiel, Aaron Clancy, Evan Shaver, Devlin Howison, Alyssa Bruns, Morgan Zebley, representing Geological Sciences, Professor Richard Tolo, Megan Clark, Philip John Anderson, Harris Bokenhide, Brady Britton, representing the Department of History, Professor C. Thomas Long, Si-Cheng Jiang, Shayna McLeod, Sarah Barrick, Emma Auburn, Aria Mildice, Winston Cutler, Layla Garagos-Liu, Kathleen Guy, Taylor Soja, Franklin Lyons, Caitlin Borgi, Emma Bilski, Catherine Harris, Sarah Mazarang, Mindy Park, Ann Dempsey, Jordan Stephen, Benjamin Joel Staten, Daniel Wolf, Alexandria Peterson, Eric Osola, Alexandra Brown, Abra Franco, Joseph Valles, Aria Maroji, Andrew Ho, William Rupke, Adrian Siskowski, Katriona Schwartz, Karia Yekovich, Connor Woods, representing interior design, Professor Nancy Evans, Margaret Crimmins, oh my gosh, Carly Lisho, it's okay. Cecilia Gonzalez de Mendez, Isabel Maria Garcia, Marissa Palmer, Christina Ballister, Charlotte Noyes, Sarah Spencer, Caitlin Sauer. Is it good? I don't get graded when this is through, please. Alyssa Altamirano, Madison Lawyer, Ariane Stern, and representing the Department of Mathematics, Professor Joseph Bonin, Hung Jen Wu, Chang Kai Sun, Jia Yuan Wang, Konstantinos Nakis, Margaret Murphy, Camille Edwards, Rachel Mia, Patton Linder, Nina Ning, Madeline Fazio, Robin J. Silber, really? Claire DiGirolamo, Garrett Brucia, Jared Madden, Catherine Lee Freitag, and representing the Department of Philosophy, Professor Michelle Friend, Cecilia Lee, Mary Arbor, Brittany Eggum, Kelsey Taylor, Eric Padilla, Scott Cope, Jenna Bernick, Priyanka Nadanasabasan, is that close? Oh. Elaine Murphy, Leah Claire Minote Edwards, William Manchinton, Derek Lee, Ian Redmond, Alexander Miller, Zachary Klein, Nicole DeSarno, Gregory Bailey, and representing the Department of Biophysics and Physics, Professor Mark Reeves. That's a twofer. Greg Kodorov, Claiborne Morton, Laura Carpenter, Jasmine Vicencio, Samuel Stevenson, Laura Lai, Ali Ajmiri, representing the department, program and Peace Studies, Professor Irene O. Jay Pandilla, Kiana Davis, Olivia Charlotte Tomaszewski, and representing the department, the program in French, the French language and literatures, Professor Marcia Belenki, and then Dorothy White, Vanessa Morales, Philippe Afkam Hakimi, Jordan Kestenbaum, Hannah Fried Tanzer, Kelsey Desmond, Carol Quigley, Lisa Drake, representing German and Russian language and literatures programs, Professor Margaret Gonglewski, Adam Spandorfer, Madeline Boughton, is that good? Julia Prout, Rachel Crawford, Melissa Svenningsson, Adam Rogers, yes, representing Spanish and Latin American languages, literatures, and cultures, Professor Sergio Weissman, a triple, Max Levine, Alexandra Nugent, Virginia Swan, Claire Dennis, representing special interdisciplinary majors, Professor Young-Ki Kim Renault, Janelle McDowell, Sarah Schatz, Poonam Narotam, Meredith Veit, representing the Department of Speech and Hearing Sciences, Professor James Massey, Camille Herring, Ranella Rosenberg, Allison Tintenfuss, Joanna Beth Lowell, Joanne Cozzo, Rebecca Katz, Corinne Smoose, Amber Cerveski, Emily Corbett, Bervi Trivedi, Daniela Rose de Guido, Regina Del Carmen, Ashley Weinstein, Heather Gross, Brianna Elzer, Catherine O'Brien, Kelly Nalbandian, Hannah Koch, Allison Resch. Representing the Department of Statistics, Dr. Srinivasan Balaji. Ziodan Zhu, Talia Menzin, Rosemary Cosgrave, Caroline Zadonis, Galen Hancock, An Bui, Matthew Mari, Zara Jilkishinova, Maria Nadine, Alexandra Tweedley, Sophie Moyer, representing Department of Theater and Dance, Professor John Traub. And we have Joshua Mason in stereo and
Madeline
Loudon, Megan Bernstein, Nicholas Ong, Andrew Fleurer,
Danny
Dunitz,
Rebecca Ann
Eichelberger,
Victoria
Neiman Vigo. Represent the Director of Women's Studies Program, Dan Moschenberg. Shakti Mial Naidu. Catherine Jessen. Shiraz Sitaram. Alex Simpkins, Elizabeth Setaducato, Faith LeConte Weiss, Michael Smith, representing early college programs, Professor Sheila Mills Harris, Jacqueline Alston, Chioma Anike, Grace Carter, Bryn Baffer, Anna Fenzel, Grace Mitchell, Ryan Jones, Noah Park Kim, Adrian Sohn, Cole Love Baker. So that was the rehearsal, and now we can go ahead and do it again.
That's right.
Thank you.
Please be seated. Please be seated. It is now my pleasure to call upon Dean Ben Vinson to deliver his charge to the graduating class. A professor of history and dean of the Columbian College of Arts and Sciences, Dean Vincent is an acknowledged teacher-scholar. With our faculty, he continues the tradition of excellence that is at the core of the Columbian College. And now, Dean Vincent, I am pleased to present to you the graduating class of the Columbian College of Arts and Sciences, the class of 2015.
Thank you so much, Dr. King, and congratulations, graduates. I've got to say before I start my remarks, having been a two-year fan now, and 2 years here on the job of GW basketball, it is, I have goosebumps up here with John Capriva, so I got to say, this is great. But listen, Dr. King and everyone who has worked so hard to pull all of this together, all of the friends and family that are here in the audience, thank you for everything you've done to make this a remarkable, remarkable celebration. And one more round of applause for the class of 2015. So, as I mentioned, I've been here for about 2 years now, and I've got to say, this celebration represents many, many things. It certainly represents the culmination of years of hard work and educational exploration that has resulted in all of you earning a degree from the Columbian College of the George Washington University. And this is just a tremendous moment for each and every one of you. And on behalf of all of the faculty and all of the administrators on this stage and people who are not here, we definitely want to extend our heartfelt congratulations. Now, again, as I mentioned, this is my second year here at GW. And I've got to say, and I was talking to a few of you as you were coming across the stage, it's hard to believe that those years just flew by like that. And for some of you, the 4 years, it seems like yesterday that you just arrived. For me, one of the other things that's been tremendously exciting about all of this is that I've had the pleasure to meet some of you, not just in class, but in the library, in Starbucks, in front of the food trucks. In particular, I'm a big fan of the bubble tea truck, and I've had some really good conversations with some of you there. And also some impassioned discussions recently in my office regarding matters of grave consequence to the university. I have felt throughout these 2 years an extraordinary vitality, an extraordinary sense of community that exists amongst all of you in this great city. And one of the things that you definitely represent, that you are a family of students and scholars, of artists and scientists, visionaries, romantics, communicators, thinkers. You have astonished all of us with your breadth of knowledge, the range of your accomplishments, and your impassioned commitments. This is one of the things that definitely distinguishes GW and the GW student body across the United States and across the world. We have one of the most impassioned student bodies anywhere in the United States. Now, let me say as well, as I sit here on this stage, looking out at all of you, I'm mindful of what you've done, and I know that each and every one of you is ready for your tomorrow. Let me remind you of why. As a student, you've taken extraordinary journeys, from the classroom to the laboratory, to sites around the city and even sites around the world. You've written poetry and formulas. You've looked into the texts of great writers, the canvases of great masters. And just as you've looked into the cells of people with disease and delved into the inner workings of the brain, for some of you, your studies have taken you from the deserts of Africa to the battlefields of Europe, from the halls of Congress to the galleries of the Smithsonian. But wherever you have gone, whether that be across the world or just simply across campus, you have left your mark. You have left your mark as individuals with a desire to absorb new knowledge and to find new solutions. as citizens dedicated to making the world a better place, and as a valued member of the GW family. In making your mark, everyone here has shared in your achievement, your journeys, and your stories. Now, we have a lot of phrases here at GW that have been coined over the recent years to describe what it is to be a member of the GW community. We've used phrases like there's the only at GW moment. For some of you, that refers to an epic opportunity or an experience or an epic internship, a unique lecture, a rendezvous at Georgetown or at Tonic, or being stopped by the presidential motorcade. There's also Raise High, which animates and elevates our sports teams to great success, but it also reminds us that we set our sights and goals at the highest levels so that we can strive to be the best that we can be. Another phrase that we've been using often, especially in the context of the recent Capitol campaign, is, at GW, we're making history. Okay. So let me pause on this one for a moment, since, as many of you know, I am a historian. So for this speech, I thought that a little bit about how to best connect this phrase with graduation. And here's what I've come up with. All of us, in our own unique way, are creating life experiences that will weave into our own personal histories. Some of these experiences are truly the quintessential GW moments which we talk about so much, but others are seemingly mundane, intensely personal. As each of us lives our lives day by day, these moments don't often always make great sense in the big picture of life. It's easy to let these moments slip by without connecting the dots. But when we put on the hat of a historian, that is, when we take the time to sift through and untangle the often messy nature of moments, when we do that on days like today, we realize that we have collected a rich reservoir of experiences that may help us change a life, touch a community, or impact the world. This is how, from the everyday history that each of us makes, we can reach out and make greater history. We just have to remember to take time, to pause, and reflect on the road that we've traveled to make greater sense of all of this. Now, you will continually do this in your own lives, looking at the moments, inspecting those moments, gathering the lessons you've learned, reflecting on the people you've encountered and engaged. Consciously and even unconsciously, you'll be absorbing what you've experienced and extract the core elements that will continue to equip you for your future. Let's return for a moment to this moment. Right here, right now, you are better prepared than you have ever been for understanding and controlling your own destiny. Now, of course, there are always going to be seeds of uncertainty. It's perfectly natural to ask yourself, where am I going? Will I be at peace with my choices? I remember when I was sitting where you are right now, after years of hard work and pain and sleep-deprived nights that were used to write papers and prepare for exams. I particularly remember an instance where about 5 to 10 of my friends and I were in art history class, the art of ancient Egypt. We crammed all night for the final exam. This was really one of the very last tests that I took as an undergraduate. And we stayed up all night. We had very little sleep because of studying for the previous exams. We made a miscalculation. We forgot that this is art history class. And so when we got into the room, professor turned off the lights to show the slides. And you can pretty much guess what happened after that. I dozed off, my friends dozed off. I felt somebody tap me on the head probably midway through the exam, and I was like, oh, what's going on? That was not a great experience. But I bring this example because many of you have gone through this. You've studied hard. You have struggled. Perhaps like me in that instance, you've also failed, because I certainly did not do well on that. But the moral of the story is that you're here. In the end, you've succeeded. A similar anecdote, I had a chance to review some video footage that I'd taken working on my senior thesis. I did work on the Afro-Venezuelan religious festivals in a place called Barlovento in northern Venezuela. And as part of the project, I did a documentary film, and I interviewed all of these cultural activists, musicians, and scholars. And my Spanish was halfway decent. It was pretty good back then. It wasn't great. And so I remember distinctly where, looking back on this, I was asking questions that were completely off topic. And so these guys were looking at me like, is this guy crazy? You could actually see this on the video. But one of the things that was interesting about that, and that I think that we can take away from this, is that thankfully these individuals were patient, and I learned enough to write the thesis. All of this is to say that the learning experience then as now is about trial and error. It's about making mistakes, plenty of mistakes. It's about absorbing everything you can, but realizing that knowledge is a lifelong process. Your experience here at GW is not intended to be a capstone on your learning. It does provide you with the tools of critical inquiry that will guide you, that will teach you how to question and how to interpret, how to engage the world. While today you may not be emerging as perfect, now, this is a newsflash for some, but while you may not be emerging as perfect, you are emerging more prepared for the road ahead than you can possibly imagine. As you embark upon the next phase of your lives, continue to think broadly. Continue to appreciate the humanistic approaches and to arrive at innovative solutions to problems that draw from the rich array and vast array of knowledge that you've been able to sample while you've been here at GW. You have been equipped with the skills that will enable you to have an alive and agile mind. Resist the temptation to forego thoughtful deliberation in a world that demands instant results. You, the graduates of Columbian College, are the new generation of global citizen leaders. And as such, as Professor Stephen Roberts in SMPA has reminded me time and time again, and some of you have had the chance to take a class with him, you've probably heard this. Before you hit the send button, use your knowledge and training to make rational, informed decisions. In closing, I know that along with the weekend's festivities, you're going to be saying goodbye to friends, to faculty, to mentors, to research partners, and your support networks. But your experience here does not end with graduation. I hope that you will take advantage of opportunities to come back to campus and stay engaged with GW and the Columbian College, whether that be through the Alumni Association, whether that be through the friends that you have still here about to graduate, whether that be through other connections that you've developed in the city. Derive support from our worldwide alumni family that includes U.S. senators, best-selling authors, acclaimed artists, renowned physicists, successful corporate leaders, and community activists. Give back if you can. Mentor a student, support a project, or later in life, give to scholarships so that many others may pursue their academic dreams as you have done. And seek opportunity. Do not wait for opportunity to find you. Exercise the muscle memory that your professors have instilled in you. Absorb new knowledge. Continue building your skill set and allow your passion to guide you to create a meaningful life. So class of 2015, my charge to you is to make history. Do it by continuing to be the best you can be. Do it by pausing every now and then to reflect like a historian on seemingly disconnected aspects of your lives. Do it by multiplying your moments, your life experiences into something greater for the benefit of our global society. Now finally, let me close with this. In our day and age, it has become customary to acknowledge the bonding of communities with a simple and very symbolic act. It's almost like a rite of passage. Years ago, people joined hands together and signaled the bonding of community. In other places and times, it was the singing of collective chants that invoked that sense of community, performing ritual dances that accomplished this very fact. Now today, people all over the world are bonding through technology. That technology literally freezes time so that the moment can be recalled at will. I've seen some of you indulge in this afternoon right here in this audience. We call this the selfie. So class of 2015, if you wouldn't mind for a moment squeezing close. I want to remember this moment forever. Class of 2015. Congratulations and best of luck.
Graduates, please remember to wear your Columbian College medal tomorrow on the National Mall. And when you are introduced and recognized by the Dean, I trust you will let everyone in the city of Washington know that you are there. A sincere note of thanks to those who helped make today special for all of our graduates, including the staff in the Dean's office and the Smith Center, and especially Professors Leslie Jacobson and Alan Wade for introducing our graduates. Ladies and gentlemen, as you leave the building, please be mindful of your safety and that of your party. You will be exiting onto a busy street full of city traffic. Rather than linger for photos and greetings nearby, we recommend that you move to the open space in the University Yard or Kogan Plaza. To close our program, members of the University Singers who are graduating this year will lead us in the singing of the alma mater, the words and music of which you will find on the back page of your program. Immediately after, this year's Columbian College Distinguished Scholar John Kopriva will come forward and accept the school pennant from Dean Vinson. Following this symbolic act, signifying the conveyance of knowledge from one generation to the next, Mr. Kopriva will lead the platform party and the faculty from the arena. We will appreciate your kindness in remaining in your places until the conclusion of the program and the Dean's party, the faculty, and the graduates have left the arena. Would you now please rise?